Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today's reaction is going to be on Sion, the Undead Juggernaut. So usually how my reactions work is we take a look at their biography and story first, then we move on to any cinematics that they might have, we take a look at their gameplay, we finally move on to the skins and fandom wiki, and then we end off with the voice lines and special interactions. Now, Sion, for me, is somebody that's been mentioned a lot in some of my other reactions, you know, especially like Swain, any of our like really Noxus-related champions. Sion has been mentioned in them, right? Now, I don't truly know anything about Sion, I would say. I just know he's a part of the Noxus army. He's been like reborn with blood magic, I believe. So, you know, obviously undead. That's honestly about it for Sion. So hopefully we get some new info here and hopefully we learn some more lore and just, you know, we find some new interactions and things about the world that we don't know about and things like that. So let's go ahead and dive in. And of course, everybody, we'll have like a timeline chapters at the bottom. So if you want to just fast forward to a part that you're more interested in, go ahead and do that. But we are going to have some really cool stuff throughout the whole video. And of course, if you end up liking the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. I appreciate it. All right, we're starting off with a quote. "War is eternal, as am I." Okay. So straight up, Sion is another person that we're going to lump into the immortal category, I assume. Role is tank. Oh, I don't know if we've really had a tank champion yet, but I guess it kind of makes sense with how he's definitely one of the bigger champions we've reacted to. Region is Noxus. We knew that. So related champions, we have Swain, Jarvan IV, and LeBlanc. Okay, right. LeBlanc was another person that we had, you know, Sion mentioned. Jarvan IV, though, the only thing I really know about Jarvan IV isn't he the ruler of Demacia? That's kind of all I really know about him. It's interesting that they're related, though. All right, our paragraph says, "A brutal warlord from a bygone era, Sion was revered in Noxus for choking the life out of a Demacian king with his bare hands. But denied the peace of death, he was resurrected to serve his empire once more. His indiscriminate slaughter claims all who stand in his way, regardless of allegiance, proving he has retained little of his former humanity. With crude armor bolted onto his rotten flesh, Sion continues to charge into battle with reckless abandon, struggling to remember his true self between the swings of his mighty axe." Okay, so a couple of things from this paragraph. So he choked the life out of a Demacian king. Well, we know it was Katarina, based on her comic. It was Katarina that killed Jarvan III. So I don't know who the Demacian king is that he actually killed. And then, I mean, the other thing that we learned here is basically he's kind of like, he doesn't really truly know who he is anymore. He's just, you know, he's been reanimated maybe so many times that he kind of just doesn't even know who he is anymore. And he's just like on autopilot, right? All right, let's go ahead and move into the biography. "Over a century past, the brutal warlord Sion rose to prominence, slaughtering all who dared stand in his way. Greatly feared by friend and foe alike, he was the last of a proud warrior culture that had been part of Noxus since its founding. Sion had sworn oaths to his ancestors to never take a backward step in battle and to die a proud warrior's death when his time came." Wow, that's pretty serious. While not noted for his subtlety or strategic acumen, Sion's methods were ruthlessly effective, and he won many vicious triumphs for Noxus. The Empire's might was at a peak not seen for hundreds of years, and so it took the generals of high command by surprise when a nation from the west first resisted, then began pushing back their steady advance. These Demacians drove the Noxian warbands eastward, harrying them back behind the walls of Herardis. Sion, who had been campaigning in the Argent Mountains, now turned south filled with fury. He arrived at the city to find the Demacians on the horizon. They had no intention of besieging Herardis, having driven the Noxians from the lands neighboring their own. They were preparing to return home. Sion readied his troops, determined to punish these upstarts for their impudence. The Noxian commander at Herardis, however, had already suffered several defeats to the enemy and was content to hide behind the city walls and let them leave unscathed. Yeah, but Sion didn't want to do that, clearly. It had been Sion and his warriors who had been paid to claim to the land now lost in blood. Outraged, he hurled the commander from the city walls and ordered the attack. I'm just picturing Sion just like hurling a regular-sized man over a wall. Sion tore straight through the Demacian lines, seeking out their leader, King Jarvan I. Oh, okay, well, there's my answer. He kills King Jarvan I. What happened to the second one, then? But while his own warband charged with him, fearless of death, those who had been cowering in Herardis were weak. Their spirit broke, and they retreated back to the city, leaving Sion and his trusted few surrounded. One by one, they fell, but Sion plowed on. Alone, pierced by a dozen swords and a score of crossbow bolts, he finally reached Jarvan. The fight was brutal, and it was the Demacian who delivered the killing blow. Sion dropped his axe, and with a final burst of strength, tore the king's crown from his head with one hand, clamping the other around his throat. Jarvan's guards stabbed Sion again and again, but his grip did not loosen. Wow, what a way to go, dude. Only when the enemy king was slain did Sion allow death to claim him. His body was recovered along with the Demacian king's crown still in his grip, and borne back to the immortal Bastion in honor. Noxus mourned Sion's passing, and his corpse was interred within a towering monument constructed to honor him for all time. Okay, so this man, I mean, yeah, like he kills the, the enemy's king, and he's just honored and everything like that. He even gets like a statue. But what happens here? Wasn't it Vladimir was involved, right? Or is it LeBlanc? Half a century passed before Sion's tomb was reopened. Noxian dominance, so half a century, so 500 years, Noxian dominance had waned in the years since Sion's death, and the ruling Grand General of the Empire, Borum Darkwill, was willing to pay almost any price to restore its glory. Darkwill's allies, the mysterious cabal known as the Black Rose, reanimated the long-dead hero using forbidden magics and presented him to the Grand General. Okay, so there's our confirmation. So he kills Jarvan the First 500 years before Borum Darkwill is General of the Empire. And then, 500 years goes on, Noxus isn't doing so hot. And Borum Darkwill decides to call on the Black Rose / LeBlanc to bring back Sion to get their glory back again, yeah? He could not refuse this gift, and so Sion returned to life, driven by unnatural bloodlust and utterly inured to pain. He hurled himself like a living battering ram against the enemies of Noxus, destroying all he faced. More so than before his death, the victories Sion brought were costly. He was uncontrollable, killing friend and foe without remorse, and those forced to fight alongside him began to desert. Finally, Darkwill ordered Sion reinterred. Okay, so they bring him back, and he basically is unhinged, right? And this is what they're getting at with like him losing his humanity, basically. And he essentially, even before he, in his original life, he was already a little bit unhinged, but he wasn't killing, friendlies. I guess he did hurl what's his name across the, over the city wall, but he wasn't like this. Hundreds of warriors died trying to restrain him before he was finally bound in chains and dragged back to the immortal Bastion. Without slaughter, the blood magic that sustained him quickly engulfed his mind in an all-consuming rage. His roars finally fell silent as he was sealed in beneath his giant statue. Okay, so they put him back in jail. There he languished for many years, neither alive nor truly dead. When his tomb opened once more, it was to a very different empire. Darkwill was gone, overthrown by the general Jericho Swain, but Sion cared little, roaring and pulling against his bindings in a frenzy that could only be sated in battle. So he's a little bit like, I want to say kind of like Aatrox in the sense that he just wants to kill people all the time. He doesn't even care. There's no reason for it almost, right? Chained within an iron cage, he returned to Havardis, which had broken away from Noxian rule under Darkwill's reign. Sion was the new Grand General's punishment for their rebellion. He butchered the defenders of Havardis and leveled the city, laughing as he ripped its towers apart with his bare hands. Other regions that had abandoned Noxus soon bent the knee, fearing the undead juggernaut would be unleashed upon them next. When harsh daylight floods his opening tomb, Sion now welcomes it, for with it comes the chance to shed his chains and sate his hunger for bloodshed, to briefly silence the screaming madness drowning out all thought of rest. Sion remembers only fragments of his life and less of the time since, but one truth has remained as stark as on the day of his death. Now as then, the world trembles before him. Okay, what a freaking badass intro for this guy. Essentially, he is an unstoppable beast. And, I'm thinking there's the cinematic I know of with, I forget which year it is. Forgive me. I get like the yearly cinematics from League of Legends, like kind of mixed around. But there's the one where it's like Irelia, Akali, and I forget who else. Kennen maybe. They're all, fighting in the Noxus army, and, Sion's front and center, and they're all taking him down. So that's a really cool cinematic, and it's like allowing me to picture Sion. At the end of the day, we're going to learn a little bit more, I'm sure, but Sion is essentially Noxus's main, main army piece, their main general. Even though he's like crazy, he doesn't really listen to orders. They can still use him in a sense to fight enemies. He's not going to kill people inside of Noxus, at least we don't think so, but yeah, so he's pretty much their #1 powerhouse in Noxus. Noxus has some crazy people to him, Swain, LeBlanc, Draven, Darius, they got some pretty strong people, that's for sure. All right, so we're reading the story In the Mind of Madness. Okay, so maybe we'll get an insight to his thoughts. Okay, here we go. Blood, smell it, want, aching, need, close now, they come. Okay, so when he says blood, do we think well, he already had a hunger for battle and, whatnot, but do we think the blood magic is involved in increasing that? I don't know. No chains, free, kill, in reach, yes, die, die. Gone too quick, no fight, more, I want more. Okay, so he's addicted to it. A voice, unfamiliar. I see him. The Grand General, my general. He leads. I follow. Marching to where? I should know. I can't remember. So right here, he's still, yeah, so he's very much like scattered thoughts. But here he's like my general. So he sees that he's not, this is somebody on his side. This is the general that he's listening to. It all bleeds together. Doesn't matter. Noxus conquers. Yeah, here we go. So Noxus conquers. That's like his #1 goal. The rest, trivial. So long since I've tasted victory. The war wagon rocks, rattles, a cramped cage, pointless ceremony, the waiting, maddening, faster dogs. There, banners, Demacians and their walls, cowards, their gates will shatter, thoughts of the massacre come easily. Who gave the order to halt? The underlings don't answer, no familiar faces. If I do not remember, neither will history. The cage is opened, finally, no more waiting. We charge. Slings and arrows, the weapons of children, their walls will not save them. Yeah, so this guy clearly just busts through any castle walls, I imagine. I'm a little surprised Noxus hasn't just, let this guy go over into main Demacia. I guess he maybe isn't super technically immortal. I mean, do we know? Like, could he actually die? I can taste their fear. They shrink at every blow as their barricades splinter. Soon. Noxian drums. Demacian screams. Glory isn't accolades. Glory is hot blood on your hands. This is life. 1,000 shattered corpses lie at my feet, and Demacian homes burn all around me. It's over too quickly. Just one more. So, I always like to compare certain champions to others, like who would win in a fight, right? And I don't recall where Sion is on Necrit's power level video because it's been a long time. Maybe when maybe a couple years from now or something, I should rewatch that and see with all the knowledge that I have now. Or maybe at the end of the year, since I did that at the beginning of the year, maybe do it again at the end of the year. That'd be kind of fun. Anyways, I mean, there's a lot of people that I think could take on Sion. He seems very strong, but I'm just thinking of all these other immortal beings that could just take out Sion. Aatrox, Zoe, you know what I mean? Of course, right? The men stare. There's fear in their eyes. If they're afraid to look upon victory, I should pluck those craven eyes out. There's no fear in the Grand General's eyes, only approval. He is pleased with this conquest. Walking the field with the Grand General surveying the carnage, I ache for another foe. He is hobbled, a leg wound from the battle. If it pains him, he does not show it. A true Noxian. I do not like his pet, though. It picks over the dead. Having earned nothing, his warhounds were more fitting company. Okay, so the pet referenced here is Raum. The demon, with the birds and whatnot. Demacia will be within our grasp soon. I can feel it. I am ready to march. The Grand General insists that I rest. How can I rest when my enemies still live? Why do we mill about? The waiting eats at me. I'm left to my own devices. The bird watches. It's unsettling. Were anyone else's, I would crush it. Okay, so the bird's keeping an eye on Sion. Fatigue sets in. I've never felt so tired. Borum, is that you? What are you whispering? Where am I? Okay, wait a minute. Is this? No, this is Swain, right? But he's saying, Borum, is that you? What are you whispering? Wait, what's happening? Where am I? Captured? Kenneled like some dog? How? So is he maybe hearing Borum's voice from before? Because, his mind clearly isn't all there. I don't know. There was the battle, the raising of the fortress, the quiet of the aftermath. Were we ambushed? I can't remember. I was wounded. I can feel the ragged gash, but no pain. They thought me dead. Now I am their prize. Fate is laughing. I will not be caged. They will regret sparing me. Demacian worms. They parrot kind words, but they are ruthless all the same. That's honestly probably true. This place is a dank pit. They bring no food. There is no torture. They do not make a show of me. I am left to rot. I remember my finest hour. I held a king by his throat and felt the final beat of his heart through my tightening grasp. I don't remember letting go. Is this your vengeance, Jarvan? I hear the triumphal march, boots on stone, faint through the dungeon walls. The cadence of Noxian drums. I shall be free. Demacian blood will run in the streets. No one came. I heard no struggle. No retreat. Did I imagine it? There is no aching in this stump. I barely noticed the iron boot. It's caked in rust. When did I lose my leg? I still smell the blood. Battle. It brings comfort. The hunger gnaws. I have not slept. Time crawls. So tired. Okay. Holy crap. His mind is all over the place, man. How long? So dark. This pit. I remember. Grand General. His whispering. What was it? Not who I think. Okay, so not who he thinks. Fading. Mustn't forget. Message. Cut. Remember. Sion. Beware ravens. Free me. Blood. Beware ravens. Who said this to Sion? So that's okay. So we're saying Borum Darkwill said that to Sion, and now he's listening to the new Grand General, Swain, who has ravens. So is this okay? I'm probably overthinking it. Was this Borum Darkwill's last message to Scion and an attempt to, you know, have Scion go after Swain, right? So maybe in the future, because again, I always like to see where these characters will go in the future and everything like that. Is this a case of where maybe Scion will turn on Swain and go after Swain? In that kind of fight, you know, Swain being Swain, he would win somehow. You know, I can't see how that actual fight would go, but you know, Swain would win that one. But that would be kind of curious, or that'd be kind of cool to see Scion like betraying, not necessarily Noxus, but betraying the general because of what Borum Darkwill told him, and because his mind is all scattered, and because LeBlanc also, she doesn't want Swain, right? As far as I can recall. I get things mixed up a lot, guys, because we've reacted to so many, but I believe LeBlanc truly doesn't want Swain on, you know, on the throne or whatever. So anyways, very good story. A little hard to like keep up with. We had to stop in a little bit there because his mind is kind of crazy, but that gave us a good insight into how his brain works and things like that. It'll be really weird to hear his voice lines later because I imagine they're going to be much, much like this. Okay, we're going to do the champion update teaser apparently for Scion Reborn. So I'm assuming Scion's older. This video is 9 years old, so I assume they did something to him 9 years ago to update him. I don't know what they did though. Let's take a look at this. This video's 9 years old, mind you, so. Okay, that's like his prison. Okay. And that was Borum Darkwill first, and the Black Rose getting him out, huh? Cool. That's the only glimpse you get of him. Very, very tiny detail there. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and move on to the next trailer. Okay, this one's much more recent. This one's only a year old. This is the Wild Rift trailer for the Weapons of Noxus. I believe I've seen it maybe. It's only a minute long though, but I know it has Samira in it as well, so not just Scion. Okay, so there's Samira. Samira seems like a really cool character that I want to get to at some point. I don't think it's been recommended by any of you in the comments, but she seems pretty cool. There he is. Holy crap. The freaking scream, dude. Oh, she has a sword and two pistols. Okay, Samira's pretty awesome. And Scion is just a battering ram with a massive axe. And okay, he has that too. Okay, so Samira works for the Noxus army, I presume. But she probably does it for money. I have no idea. I'm guessing here. Oh, they're working together. That was kind of cool. I've seen that move of hers from TFT. Okay, that's typical Scion hitting his own teammates. Okay, cool. Dude, he is massive. That would be so scary to go up against in a battle. Cool. All right, next up we have the 2-year-old trailer for him being put into Legends of Runeterra. So let's check it out. Scion rises once more.
I feel the blood course.
Okay, he's 7 mana, 3/6, Overwhelm. When I'm discarded, grant your strongest ally Overwhelm and place me into your deck. I have +1 for each card you've discarded this game, and then level up when you've discarded or summoned 35 plus power. Okay, so he belongs in a discard deck.
Through me.
Interesting. Interesting, he only has 3 attack. But I imagine you just want to buff him up.
Death follows.
What would be another champion that like goes really well with Scion in Legends of Runeterra? I want to hear from you Legends of Runeterra players. Reborn General, is that what I said? Oh, Reborn Grenadier. Sawnite Urchin, Ancient Warmonger. Okay, so we're seeing like, yeah, okay, there's Scion being pulled. Oh, there's King Jarvan III.
Bury them in bones.
Okay, I see the buff going on there. He was discarded again. So you pretty much want to just keep discarding it. can.
Come out and die.
Getting a little glimpse of his voice lines there. I want to see the level up for him. It's got to be him just like charging in or being reborn or something.
Demacians, fight for your king. How many Jarvans must
Roar
I
of the
kill?
Slayer. So yeah, he has a roar that like
Prosper.
is probably crazy.
Rule well.
So are they actively trying to kill King Jarvan the Fourth? I wonder. I imagine. Okay, here we go.
Gods, I'll butcher them all.
Okay, yep. Holy crap. That was him running through like Demacian stronghold or something. That was wild.
Away with you. Not even death can stop me.
Death, just one more thing to conquer. So with the blood magic in him, I do truly wonder, like, if he dies, like, the blood magic is probably still in him somehow. So he probably, I guess, I don't know. Is he actually immortal?
I will never forget.
Dang, he had 12 attack there. Okay, let's look at, okay, so those are the two different Scions. Scion Return, Scion's Roar, and then Ancient Warmonger and Reborn Grenadier. Cool. Okay, we got a couple more. Risen Rider, Fallen Rider, Noble Rebel. These are some people. They're just very Noxus looking cards. Cool. You guys will have to let me know anything about Scion in Legends of Runeterra. You know, if he's pretty good, if he's kind of eh. You know, discard decks are kind of gimmicky as far as I know in terms of like, I know a little bit about Magic the Gathering. And discard decks, they're not necessarily gimmicky, but sometimes they kind of are, right? So let me know all about Scion in Legends of Runeterra, guys. But let's move on. Okay, so this is probably like 8 or 9-ish years old, guys. So, you know, bear with, you know, how it's going to look. But we have the Champion Spotlight for Scion. I imagine he probably hasn't had any big changes to his gameplay. He's probably been tweaked here or there. And this is about 8 minutes long. But if they go into like the tidbits about what weapons to use and stuff like that, we aren't going to like listen to that part. But let's go ahead and watch.
Welcome to the League of Legends Champion Spotlight, featuring Scion.
Yeah, this is like
The
an
Undead
old
Juggernaut.
one. It looks like it's from the older version of the game even.
Death had its chance.
Yeah, this looks real old, but we'll still get an idea of his abilities. Death had its chance. I like that.
You reek of fear.
Okay, they're showing off some
A former
skins.
Noxian general, Scion was resurrected
We'll look
after
at
his
some of
death
those skins
and now
later.
serves as an undead behemoth. A slow and lumbering war machine,
Oh, the
Scion
barbarian
only
one makes
remembers his
sense.
old self in the heat of battle and fights on in a desperate attempt to keep his past memories from slipping away.
To keep them from
In-game,
slipping
Scion
away.
is a stubborn and tanky colossus with powerful area of effect crowd control abilities that help him excel in solo lanes and the jungle.
Does a team necessarily need to have a tank? In League, I
Scion's
actually have no idea.
passive is Glory in Death.
Okay.
Whenever Scion dies, he turns berserk, dropping his axe and gaining huge attack speed, damage, and lifesteal.
Oh,
Although
wow.
Scion revives with full health, it drains as he bleeds out and drains faster the longer he's alive.
Oh,
Scion's
wow.
rage makes him stagger, so he moves slower and his abilities are temporarily replaced by Death Surge, which gives him a short burst of movement speed.
Okay.
Glory in Death has no cooldown, so Scion berserks no matter how often he falls in battle. Don't stop fighting when you die. Each of Scion's attacks deal a % of his target's max health, so you can
Oh, a
avenge yourself
percent.
even after your glorious death.
Dang. He goes berserk. It's crazy.
Next is Scion's
Decimating
Q,
Smash.
Decimating Smash. Scion plants himself in position and begins channeling,
Oh, that's a
drawing
pretty
his
big,
axe back to swing it into a fixed but extending cone before him.
That's a pretty big
damaging
cone.
and knocking up enemies it hits.
And it knocks up.
Decimating Smash deals increasing damage the longer it's charged, but more
Oh.
importantly, only knocks up once it's at least half charged. Attack
Oh.
before his weapon flashes, and Scion slows whomever he hits instead. Since
Okay.
Decimating Smash is a channeled ability,
At least it still
can
slows.
be interrupted by enemy crowd control, which
Oh, it gets-
completely nullifies the attack.
Ooh,
But
the fact that it
partially
can get
reruns the
interrupted,
cooldown
though.
so we can try again.
Oh, okay. But still, you can interrupt
Use
it.
Decimating Smash to follow up on allied crowd control. Your target won't be
Yeah.
able to sidestep your attack when they're already stuck.
That makes sense.
Scion's W
Soul
is Soul
Furnace.
Furnace, which has a passive and active component.
Okay.
Passively, it gives Scion a permanent health bonus each time he kills an enemy, and
Oh.
more when he takes down large neutral monsters, siege minions, and
Little health
champions.
boost.
Activating Soul
He gets invigorated by it, yeah.
Furnace generates a shield around the big guy that soaks up incoming damage.
Oh.
After a few seconds, Scion can detonate the shield to damage all nearby enemies.
What?
There are a couple of
Okay.
important points here. First, if the shield's broken, Scion cannot detonate it. Second, Soul Furnace can be activated and detonated while casting any of his other abilities.
Oh, cool.
Use Soul
You can
Furnace to
combine it.
zone your opponents away from your minions. The shield can soak up a decent amount of damage, and the explosion stings even at early ranks.
Okay. Roar
Scion's E is
an
Roar of
actual
the Slayer.
ability. Wow.
Upon activation, Scion bellows in a target direction, damaging, slowing, and shredding
Oh,
the armor
it goes
of the
pretty
first
far.
target struck.
The armor, too.
Scion's roar is so powerful that if he roars at a minion or monster, he sends his victim flying back even
Whoa.
farther than the ability's initial cast range.
Dang. Okay.
It turns into a little missile as it flies along its path, dealing
You could
increased
launch
damage and
minions.
applying a heavier slow to everything it strikes,
That's kind of cool.
except for walls. Minions
Oh,
can't
wow.
go through walls.
Okay.
Use Roar of the Slayer to poke your opponents from range. It's especially useful for helping your allies land follow-up abilities.
Okay. All right.
Scion's
Unstoppable
ultimate
onslaught.
is Unstoppable Onslaught. Once started, Scion begins charging in a target direction, gradually speeding up as he moves. If
Dang.
he collides with an enemy champion or terrain, he slams the ground, damaging and knocking up enemies immediately around him, while only slowing enemies farther away.
Pretty basic
Unstoppable
ability, but
Onslaught has an incredibly long
Oh.
range.
Whoa.
And though you can't precisely steer Scion as he charges, he does his best to follow your cursor.
dang, that goes so far.
While charging, Scion knocks aside minions and shrugs off any attempts to slow or stop him.
Oh, wow.
If Scion reaches the end of his charge or reactivates the ability early, he'll slam the ground, offering the same damage, knockup, and slow as if he hit a champion.
Dang.
Finally, subtlety is not really Scion's forte. Everyone knows whenever he
No.
ults thanks to the sound of him charging, which all players can hear.
Oh, wow. It goes throughout the
Use
entire
Unstoppable
map.
Onslaught
Everybody
to
hears
initiate
it.
team fights. With good timing and positioning, Scion can demolish the enemy team with his charge.
Yeah. That's a pretty good ability. I mean, that's essentially also works as like a mobile ability. I could see you using it in desperate times or desperate measures to like get to another part of the map if there's like a fight that you really need to get to or something to help your team.
Though Scion's
Especially as a
abilities
tank.
are powerful in their own right, they're absolutely brutal when used together. Here are a couple of combos to help you power your way through the ranks.
Okay, I don't think we need to look at the combos, guys, because you know what I mean. Like I'm not really. I don't play the game, so I don't need to look into the combos or anything. But I just like the overall view of the abilities here. So I hope these haven't been actually changed or anything. Sometimes they actually have. I think maybe changed one ability or so, and they haven't done a whole new spotlight for. So you guys let me know in the comments if any of his abilities have been completely changed or anything like that. So we got the, you know, the decimating smash, and then the shield, the soul furnace thing, the roar, and then his charge. Those are pretty like those seems like abilities that probably should stay on him. I don't see them needing to change or do anything to his you know, gameplay abilities. But you know, the game of League of Legends evolves over time, so I imagine they may have had to do something to him since he is one of the older champs. But you guys let me know in the comments. Cool. All right, next up we have the Scion login screen. This is 8 years old, so it is going to be a little bit of an older, you know, champion theme for Scion, but, you know, it's still relevant, so let's take a look. I'm sure it's going to be menacing and terrifying and just, yeah. That's even more terrifying than I expected, actually. Okay. This is like, okay, I was thinking it was gonna be pretty scary, but this is like, holy crap. Yeah, this is not something you want to hear when you know Scion's on the other side. Dude, what in the world am I listening to right now? This is some horror music. This is like you're getting chased in Dead by Daylight or something. Or like chased in a horror movie. Scion just behind you chasing you. They're like real heavy on the drums. Real heavy on like the bass. It almost sounds like war chanting music too. What in the world, dude? I didn't think it was gonna be this crazy. What? Oh no, what is happening? It's getting even worse. I'm speechless. This is not what I expected. Well, it is, but it's not. Dude, it's so chaotic too. It's just chaotic and loud. Which is Scion. This might be like a perfect theme for a character. Like, I don't know if it gets any more better than this. The dune. Dude. Holy crap. That is not what I expected. I just assumed we were going to get some menacing music, but not like 11 out of 10 menacing music. That was insane. That was just a bunch of drums, bunch of strings, bunch of like trombones or band or whatever going on, just like all playing at the same time and as loud as possible. That was pretty dang cool. Obviously not going to be like a song that I'm going to listen to or add to my playlist as a song to listen to later in the future. But again, I think it doesn't get any more perfect than this in terms of creating a theme that suits a champion. That was insane. That is not what I expected. Holy crap. All right, guys. I'm a little like, I don't even know right now, but let's keep going on with the reaction. All right, guys, it's that time again in the reaction. We're looking at the skins for Scion. He has a good amount here. You know, he is a little bit of an older champion, so it's good to see this many skins for him. I'm going to do a top 3 like I usually do. I think there's enough skins to do a top 3 here. I do want to hear from you guys, though. Let me know what your favorite skin is, or if you have a top 3 as well, let me know. Let's start off with the original skin here for Scion. You know, very good, very menacing character that Riot created here. We'll put it in the top 3 for now. Sometimes I like to keep the originals in, but let's keep moving on. I know I saw like a couple of them already, but here's the Hextech one. He looks more like Frankenstein, I would say, in this kind of skin here. It's pretty good, but let's keep going on. Let's see what we have ahead. Barbarian. Okay, so Barbarian, when I saw this one in the gameplay spotlight, I was like, oh yeah, this is like kind of perfect for him. He literally looks like a Barbarian character. He uses a battle axe. It all kind of makes sense. He's obviously like a little bit bigger almost than a regular Barbarian, but no, it really works here. I like this skin, but it's not going to go in the top 3 just yet. Okay, Lumberjack. I think this one's kind of a whatever skin. It's a little basic in my opinion. You know, it's kind of scary, but it's not as scary as I'd like. I figure we can get some scarier skins here from Scion. Next, we have Warmonger. Okay, so basically they just gave him like Noxus battle armor, which is pretty cool. In my opinion, I like it. So we're going to put this in the top 3. It just fits his champion. You know, he's always at the front of the line. He just needs some armor, even though, you know, he can't really die. I think the dude needs some armor. It adds to his aesthetic. What in the... Okay, Mecha Zero. What am I looking at here? Okay, we have... I don't even want to say Gundam. It's more Transformers Scion. Yeah, like, look at this one right here. This is like Transformers Scion, which is, you know, I want to say it's cool, and I think it is. So we're gonna toss it in the top 3 here, but I don't know how I feel about it still. Like, it's a little. No, it's cool. Let's just continue on. Oh, and I just realized he has a hammer. Is it a hammer instead of an axe? Yes, it's more like a hammer, like a battle hammer. That's really cool. Okay, I like it, but it's just like one of those skins where it's not even Scion anymore, so that's why I'm like a little hesitant on keeping it in the top 3. It's not like I don't like it, but you know, when the skins don't really look like the champion anymore, sometimes I'm a little like, but let's keep going. Okay, we have World Breaker Scion. Let's take a look at the model here. Okay, so he's got some sort of armor on, kind of maybe like Shuriman armor maybe, or I'm not quite sure. This is interesting look for Scion. Again, it's another skin that kind of doesn't make it look like Scion. The colors, you know what I mean? Like the colors, all these different color variations are kind of like silly, I feel like almost. I'm not going to put it in the top 3. We're going to move on. I don't really have any big complaints about it, but it's not my fave. Okay, again, they like to incorporate, you know, like a frost version of each champion. And this is Scion's. He looks kind of like a Yeti, like an ice Yeti or whatever, a frost Yeti. Yeah, he's got like frost Yeti vibes here, but he's more like crystalline looking too. Okay, it's back to the axe in this one, which I do like, but he looks kind of weird again, I have to say. I don't think it's my fave, but let's move on to the next 2. And we'll see. We'll see if we like any of these further ones. Okay, we have High Noon. Now, usually, again, I'm not a big fan of the High Noon skins. I'm just not like a big fan of like the Western cowboy aesthetic kind of deal. So that's just my personal taste. But this, in my opinion, doesn't even look very High Noon to me. Even the first version here, like maybe the color scheme is. But yeah, that's honestly it. This skin, in my opinion, is actually really good. It gives him like some metallic armor that looks really cool. And then his axe has changed to be something totally different. And it's even more like a, no, yeah, it's still an axe. I was going to say it's more like a battle hammer. But no, this is a really good skin for him. I'm a little surprised by the High Noon. So let's do High Noon. And then we have the Mecha Zero version and the original. But we got one more skin. We have Cosmic Paladin. Oh, you guys already know from if you've watched any of my previous reactions, we really like the cosmic kind of like galaxy type skins for a lot of the champs. And yeah, this one looks really good on him. Cosmic Paladin. You know, Scion's definitely not a paladin type character, but yeah, this aesthetic on him looks really good in my opinion. So we're going to keep this in the top 3 for sure. So let's see. I'm a little surprised I'm doing High Noon. Yeah, okay. So the original is actually going to come out. I'll do Mecha Zero, High Noon, and the Cosmic Paladin as my top 3 skins. I think they're all pretty solid skins. I think we could get some more though. We don't have like a Halloween themed skin for Scion. I don't know what they could do for him specifically, but you know, it kind of seems to me that it would make sense since he's a very menacing and terrifying character. Give him some sort of Halloween themed skin if we could in the future, in my opinion. You guys let me know if they have any plans for that. Or I don't know how like skins get announced or if it's just random. I do randomly see like on my YouTube feed sometimes now, since I'm getting a lot of YouTube stuff or League of Legends stuff on my feed. It's like I'll sometimes see when new skins are like popping out in waves. Like I think there were some Coven skins that came out recently. But you guys let me know all about that. Okay, so we have a little bit of trivia here. We have Scion the Undead Champion. I'm not going to read that because that I believe is clearly the old version of him. Now we have Scion the Undead Juggernaut. So what do we have here? Scion is one of 14 champions that have an ability that infinitely stacks an effect. In Scion's case, it's his Soul Furnace and infinitely stacks his health. Scion's updated champion spotlight was the last to feature the old Summoner's Rift map. Oh, okay, so yeah, when we watched that champion spotlight, you know, it was definitely the old map, but that was the very last one to feature it. Okay. Unstoppable Onslaught was inspired by Juggernaut from X-Men. I could see that. With Unstoppable Onslaught, Scion is one of a few champions who can apply crowd control on themselves, the others being all these champs. Okay. Glory Death is one of 3 abilities which allow their casters to continue fighting after death, the others being Death Defied and Acathian Surprise. So Death Defied is from, it looks like Karthus, and this one's from Kog'Maw. So there's only 3 abilities in the game that allow you to do that. Cool. Scion's passive is the only one of these 3 that lasts a variable time determined by his health running out. And Scion is also the only targetable zombie state of the 3, which was previously shared with Omen of Death, Yorick's original ultimate. Okay, so we kind of just, you know, learned a little bit more about like him and his abilities compared to like a lot of the other champs in the game and stuff. Well, folks, I think we have the shortest fandom wiki page yet. So there's nothing in here really at all for Scion. We have appearance, personality, abilities, all empty. Early life, all of that's empty. The only little bit here we have is, I guess we have when he was born, so 818 AN, 875 AN. Species, it says human and it was crossed out and changed to revenant. Not quite sure what that signifies. And we have related characters. So, you know, we got Swain, Vayne. I don't know what the connection is there. Irelia, Kennen. Some of these are going to be from the trailer, the yearly trailer that we get. Jarvan the Fourth, Urgot, Akali, Yasuo, Karma, Katarina, and Galio. I know, yeah, a lot of like Karma's from the trailer as well. So that's really it for related characters there. But what do we have down here in the relations section? So it says, in life, Scion was the hand of Noxus. Scion was resurrected at the Order of the Black Rose, likely by LeBlanc herself, with Vladimir being one of the main people in charge. Right. Once Swain overthrew Borum Darkwill, thus becoming the new Grand General, he learned of Sion's existence and plotted to use him as his own weapon. Sion was used in the second Noxian invasion of Ionia, where he fought the resistance. Right, here we go. Led by Irelia, who was assisted by Karma, Akali, Kennen, and Yasuo. And it looks like in that trailer that they were taking him down. Okay, and then it says Vladimir conducted the blood ritual that restored Sion's mind using a ritual knife coated in Jarvan IV's blood, likely obtained when the Exemplar was captured and LeBlanc impersonated him to avoid Demasia's suspicion. Oh, so we're getting like the details here. So straight up, Vladimir did the blood ritual. That's what I thought. And, you know, LeBlanc assisted, and they had to use Jarvan IV's blood. Did they have to use his blood, or did they just choose to? That's interesting. As a result of this re-resurrection, Sion is stuck in an amnesiac limbo. He remembers Borum warning him about ravens, but his undeath clouds his thoughts and makes him over-revel in slaughter. Yeah, and then the ravens, for some reason, when I hover over it says Beatrice, but I assumed that was Borum warning him about Swain. Yeah, and again, nothing down here really in the trivia. There's one line here that just says Sion was probably not human in life, but a slightly larger humanoid race, which is probably why human was scratched out up above. That's really it, all we get for Sion. I don't know what else you could really put in here. I guess personality. Somebody come in here and fill out Sion's personality. You know what I mean? Abilities aren't even filled in. We kind of already know because it would have just been all his gameplay abilities. But yeah, it looks like Sion hasn't been updated in a little while, guys. So somebody come in here and update Sion. All right, guys, let's finally move on to the voice lines for Sion. All right, we're first starting off with the Legends of Runeterra voice lines like I usually do. Now, of course, you know, I don't really know what we're going to get voice lines wise for Sion, just based on the thoughts going through his head in the story we read earlier. It's going to be kind of interesting. So let's go ahead and dive in.
What is this madness? One was already too many.
That's actually pretty funny.
You ended my peace.
Yes, and when the time comes, I shall return you to it.
Ah.
What is this curse, Narati? Explain
Narati.
yourself.
Once the war is finished, General, you shall have your rest.
You were re-resurrected.
The party has arrived.
Okay, Draven.
Ugh, I hate parties.
I have the best job.
Yeah, I'm sure he doesn't.
Is this what has become of Noxus?
Ooh. Doesn't like what Noxus is now.
Why must I endure this madness?
Jinx stands for Jinx. Durr.
Sorry
Durr.
stands for get out of my way. Durr.
No way, this man just said "dur" at the end. Okay, that was so good, Riot. Thank you for putting the "dur" in there. That made it so good.
Dressed for the occasion in red.
Vladimir,
Okay.
I remember what you did to me.
Yeah.
Fear the power you do not see.
All right, Swain.
No,
What does he think about
fear
Swain?
Me, Jericho.
Ooh.
I've dressed for the occasion in red.
Bloodstone, I remember you.
Yep, Vladimir's the one.
Hello, my darlings.
You did this to me.
Technically, I mean, he did, but
Demacians,
LeBlanc was
fight
the
for your
one behind
king.
it.
How
and Swain.
many Jarvans must I kill?
Yeah.
Words make a ruler, but actions make history.
I'll crush your bones with your ancestors' crown.
Whoa, that's a
I will
badass
fight
line.
for Demacia till the day I die.
And what of tomorrow?
Mm.
Fight me, coward!
Jeez,
My hunger only grows.
we know that.
My axe is getting cold.
Okay.
I do not give my time willingly. Victory is a taste
We know
I
that.
will never forget. Their bones will pave my road to glory.
Dude, these voice lines are
Stack
wild.
the bodies high.
Stack the
Let
bodies
the
high.
world see.
Jeez.
Sorrow has no place in war.
This dude's a
Get up,
savage.
Fight again. I feel nothing.
You are not required to feel. You are required to kill.
He feels nothing. That's interesting.
Die a fool, flee a coward.
The Empire's champion, unbridled and raw.
Mm-hmm.
If it
Reborn
ain't the
Grenadier.
Butcher of Kings. Die and stay dead, you irrelevant fool.
Dang. At least that's a good nickname, the Butcher of Kings. All right, everybody, that does it for the Legends of Runeterra interactions we have for Sion. So, you know, we got some funny ones in here, actually funnier than I thought. You know, like this one was my favorite, the one with Jinx. But I did notice that a lot of the champions weren't actually responding to Sion. They weren't really actually saying anything about Sion. It was more Sion responding to them. That's a little interesting that they don't have any actual interactions with the champions saying stuff to Sion, but I guess not too many people would be able to say something to him or know who he is, I guess. You know, that's okay though. We don't actually need to have that kind of stuff. I just like that we get any of these voice lines, even just Sion responding to their voice lines. I think that's totally fine as long as that makes sense. We don't necessarily need the other champion responding to Sion. So that's interesting. We did, I guess, back here with the Grave Physician, he did respond to Sion specifically. That was, I think, the only one, to be honest. Oh, and then there was the Reborn Grenadier, I guess, as well. But the actual specific champions in game, we didn't get any actual like people saying things about Sion, but that's okay. I thought these were pretty fun. I did notice, you know what I mean? Like, he doesn't necessarily, well, obviously, no, he hates what's going on right now. He hates that he was re-resurrected. He literally hated everybody he interacted with. So, you know, he's mad at Vladimir for resurrecting him. And he was mad at Draven because he thinks he's kind of an idiot, probably like everybody else. He's like, is this what Noxus has become? He also blamed the Lady of Blood because, you know, she was part of Vladimir's group. And then, you know, the line here with Swain, he was like, no, you should fear me, Swain. Because, you know, even though he's the general, it didn't seem like Sion really cares much for Swain, even though he's the current general of Noxus. So, you know, it leads me to believe that maybe Sion doesn't really like, you know, Noxus's current state, and he doesn't really like the current general. He liked Borum Darkwill better. And of course, we had the voice line with the Jarvan thing, a couple of Jarvan voice lines, actually. Yeah, he, of course, truly wants to kill Jarvan the Fourth, because why not? He wants to keep killing the king of Demacia. All right, that's it, guys. Let's go ahead and move on to the voice lines in-game. All right, everybody, we got another Skin Spotlights video. This apparently is a video from 2014. It says new voice for Sion. So it must have been when they did like a big update to Sion back in 2014. That's the only voice lines video I was able to find for Sion. So it's 13 minutes though, but they are just going to be a little bit older. So there's not going to be any like updated recent ones here. The Legends of Runeterra ones were going to be our most recent. All right, let's check it.
Killing.
Oh, we don't get any subtitles either. Oh no.
No. Another corpse for the pile.
All right, we're going to have to really listen here, okay, everybody?
Enemy. I don't care. They'll never find all your pieces.
Ooh.
More enemies. My axe is getting cold.
Okay, that's one that's in Legends of Runeterra. Man, the person that's doing this voice, I don't know if they like, you know, changed the person's voice to make it like so deep and rumbling like this, or if the person's actually doing the voice like crazy like this. You know how like the Fiddlesticks voice actor actually does the real Fiddlesticks voice. So
I will kill you all.
dang, what a menacing line that is.
I will break you. I must be sated.
Wow.
Give me an enemy.
Dude, he's so scary.
Taste blood in the air. I'll use their bones to pick my teeth.
Whoa. He'll use the bones as floss, dude. Or as a toothpick. Oh, we're getting his like attack noises. God, his scream is scary.
I will drench it in their blood. I'll bury it in their skulls.
Oh, God, dude.
Another trinket to be shattered. It will do. If
All of
it
these voice lines
breaks,
are just like
so will you. I'll break
awful.
it in. Hand it over before I kill you.
Okay.
These will wade through the blood of thousands.
The blood of
Nothing will
thousands.
keep me from battle. Every step will crack the earth.
Jeez.
Good enough.
And I don't even.
Demacia with this hammer. Cold as the grip of death. I'll feel their bodies grow cold.
Jeez.
This will sever 1,000 heads. All
I believe it.
burn in my wake.
I believe it.
They'll beg as they burn. Fire, good. Its heft. This
sword lacks heft.
cleaver will be red soon. I like this weapon. protection from the bites of me.
That's true.
This is the only fortress I need. This has seen many battles. Battle scarred. I like it. No mere spell will stop me.
Well, okay, so with that voice line, it literally just got me thinking. So let's say Scion goes rogue almost. I imagine Swain, LeBlanc, or Vladimir, or whoever, has some sort of like emergency thing to like maybe, put him back in jail or something, right?
This will stop their flailing. Do you feel a shiver down your spine? Cold fear.
The cold fear.
Leave no wound unanswered. This is not the first dead king's weapon I've taken.
Dang.
Spells.
Okay, so very much so against magic. Okay, that's death sound for Scion. Jeez. The choking on like his own blood. It sounded like, yeah. Oh god. I don't like it. Sounds awful. Sounds like an actual person dying.
It's been too long. Battle, yes. When does the
Battle, yes. That's pretty much Scion in a nutshell.
killing start? I had a funny bone, then I crushed it. Laugh, worm.
Wait, what?
The mewling of your orphan children amuses me. How's that for funny? It's murdering time.
Okay, now we're getting some funny
Your
lines from
puny
him.
body is the only joke here.
Yeah, these are him responding to
body's
jokes.
The only joke here.
Wait. Why did he just do that voice in a different accent or something? Hold on, let's hear that again.
Puny body is the only joke.
That's
here.
normal, Scion.
Your puny body's the only joke here.
Why does that sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger?
You look just like your ancestors. Be back. I'll be back.
Okay, who at Riot decided to put these Arnold voice lines in here?
The enemy awaits.
Was Arnold really in
There's
2014
death
for some
to
reason?
deal. Shattered earth and bodies. Broken stone, broken bones.
Okay, he's
Quake
rhyming now.
And die.
Quake and
die and be silent.
Oh, still don't like the
My
screams.
blood burns. I hear the screams.
Ooh, that's scary.
The din of the dying. Heat and rage. Fire in my veins.
Okay, he's saying a lot of fire stuff too.
Out of my way. Worms.
Worms.
Scatter. You can't hide behind lackeys. Ah! Ah!
Oh,
The hunger, it grows. You all die too quickly.
this man has so many lines, and I'm not mad about it, but they are all so scary.
Stack the bodies higher.
We heard that
I'll
line.
make a mountain of the dead.
That's insane. That's so scary. Like a person saying stack the bodies high, make it like a mountain. Like that's insane.
Feel alive. Blood on my hands. This I remember.
Ooh, is that kind of a reference to him killing Jarvan, the first Jarvan?
I do not tire. I do not bleed. More.
He doesn't tire.
Myself.
Oh, losing myself.
Yet I can hang on.
Oh, this is him dying in game.
Mind will not dim. Slipping. I must live again. I crave more.
You always crave more.
Reek of fear.
Yes,
Come
probably.
out and die. Your bones will pave my road to glory.
Jeez, like that. That's
Grist
insane.
For the mill of war. Your snapping bones are music to my ears.
Oh my
I
lord.
don't care
These are
what
wild.
your name is.
I don't care what your name is.
You. I want to remember killing you.
Ooh.
Time to cut your strings, puppet. One
Time to cut your strings, puppet. Is that is he referring to somebody specifically?
of us will finally die today. We've clashed 1,000 times. No more. I killed you once. I'll kill you again.
I killed you once, I'll kill you again. See, and I don't know who that's referring to.
I'll plant that banner in your corpse. Next
Maybe just Jarvan.
Next to die. Today, we'll see if ghosts can bleed.
Huh.
Even death trembles before me.
Okay, so these, okay. See, we're not getting like who these are being spoken to, but I assume, you know, the ghost one is some ghost champion that we have in League. I'm not sure who that would be. This one right here, even death trembles before me. I don't know. He could just be saying that because his lines are insane in general, or he could be speaking to Kindred specifically. I don't know if Kindred was out in 2014, but yeah.
You will be privileged to die under my boot. You are not my general.
Oh, see, that's what we got in the story we read. He said something about that. And I was like, oh yeah, that's him referring to Swain because he remembers Borum Darkwill as his general.
I am not your pawn, Swain.
Oh, there you go.
Weak, Swain. You are no leader.
Okay, never mind. Okay, you know, I was like pretty much 99.9% like, oh yeah, Sion does not like Swain. He doesn't like this new general for Noxus. He really actually liked Borum Darkwill. Here we are getting confirmation in his voice line.
Charge! Noxus!
Jeez.
I'll crush you all!
Dude, how did Irelia and Yasuo and Kennen and all them not be scared in battle in Ionia against this guy?
Nothing will stop me! Vermin! I am war!
Wow. The delivery on that line, I am war, is insane.
Cowards!
Okay, first off, Sion, your vocal cords, bro. Are you good? Exactly my point.
Show me the enemy. Let them sneak. Then let them die. A trap for vermin. This is the ground you'll die on.
Okay.
Running is futile.
Okay.
Where
That's a pretty
are
basic
you
line that we've heard.
going? Nowhere.
More screams. Blood. War. Kill. There's no way the voice actor is delivering the lines this way. That would hurt so bad.
Crush. Raise your weapon.
Guys, I'm officially like extremely terrified of this champion.
Your life is mine. I'll pull you apart.
I feel like I'm gonna hear his screams in my like dreams tonight or my nightmares.
I'll rip your head from your spine. Your cries disgust me. Bleed for me. I'll grind you to dust. I'll drown you in your own blood.
Jeez,
I'll rip
bro.
the meat from your bones.
Oh my god.
Blood will
Do we have another champion that is this freaking brutal with their voice lines? This is wild, man. I mean, Aatrox is pretty. No, I don't even know. Like this is.
spill. I'll drink from your skull.
I'm like,
Drink their blood.
this is wild
Run
stuff to
from
me.
me. I'll wet my axe on your bones.
Okay.
Ah! Ah!
Ugh.
Ah!
Okay. All right. You know how that? Okay, hold on. You know how Riot's been making like all these little mini games? Like there was one for Silas, one for Echo. I think there's one coming from Nunu and Willump. Let's make a horror game with Scion in it. Just have him chasing you.
Forget the faces of the slain. Slay the strong. Trample the weak.
Okay.
Blood is the wine of victory.
Blood is the wine of victory.
Cowardice will be met with death. Noxus suffers no cowards. Death had its chance. Only cowards fear death. Victory is soaked in blood. Break their will and their bones.
Don't just break their will. Break their bones.
Winning is like breathing.
That's probably true for
Your
him.
drums will drown out their screams. Feel that? Crumble. You are worms.
You are
A
worms.
black eye for the earth.
A black eye for the earth.
Even the ground trembles. Leave no stone unbroken. You're nothing.
You're nothing. Having Scion just yell that to you, what do you do?
You can't even scratch me. I feel no pain.
Oh my god, that is wild to hear the enemy say that.
That all. Think you can take me?
This makes the, I think, Awaken trailer
Pathetic.
even more like crazy to me because of the fact that like it's all of them fighting Scion.
You're mine. Get up, fight. Is
Like he's more scary
what
to me now.
passes for war?
Wow. That was kind of incredible, people. I don't think I've ever been like Fiddlesticks, you know what I mean? Like Fiddlesticks is scary to me too, 100%. Like his trailer that they have for him is so good and so damn scary. But you know, they have some funny voice lines in there for Fiddlesticks, or they have a lot of like lore type voice lines for Fiddlesticks specifically. So I'm a little bit more like, I'm trying to think of like, oh, how does this line make sense from Fiddlesticks and things like that. And I'm just trying to like, you know what I mean? Like I think more when I hear Fiddlesticks voice lines because he's such an interesting character. He's a demon that's super old. But with Scion, I'm actually like super terrified of this guy. I mean, I'm terrified of Fiddlesticks, don't get me wrong. But Scion is incredibly scary. These the screams, like I mean, we had screams throughout the whole thing. Every time the screams came on, I was just like, I don't even want to listen to any more of these, because not because they were like bad or like piercing my ears. They kind of were, I guess. They were just freaking terrifying, man. I mean, I can see why now, like Noxus resurrected Scion, or well, you know, Swain, LeBlanc, and Vladimir did, because this guy's insane. You want him on your side and you want him out there in battle and taking over, you know, I guess they're using him in Ionia in the Second War, right? So that was probably their initial plot with him, I imagine. He had so many lines in there that were just like, I'm going to rip your bones off, you know, I'm going to rip your meat off, I'm going to just crush your bones. Like there was just so much like scary voice lines in this. And like I was saying, like even if he said something really funny, like something stupid funny, right? Like some of our other champions have, but in this voice, this dude still would be scary. Like the voice delivery from the actor, great job. Again, I don't know if they're doing something to make the voice the way it is, you know, adding something onto it, like a sound effect or something, but it's incredible. I applaud the voice actor. I applaud Riot for making these voice lines as well. They were really good. You guys let me know. There were some, I think, somewhere in the middle here. Like there was the one about the ghost and like death and something like that. You guys let me know if there's any references in here towards other champions. Again, this is back in 2014. So I don't know how much they were doing with, you know, interactions with other champions back in 2014. I don't know if that was something more recently that they've been doing. You know, I guess we got the one here with the Jarvans. You know, how many Jarvans must I kill? 4 Jarvans and you're all still failures, he says. So we do get a couple of references in here. But if there's some in here I missed, please let me know. Yeah, guys, I am officially, like, from this point on, I am now, anytime I see Sion in a trailer or anything, I am going to be 10 times more scared of this man. He just freaking scared the crap out of me with these voice lines. Now, what I also like to do towards the end of these videos is I do like to see where possibly lore for the champion could go in the future. And again, there's a lot of talk here of him definitely not liking, you know, Noxus's current state, and definitely not liking the current general and Jericho Swain. It seems like nobody likes Swain. I mean, I do, but yeah, Sion definitely doesn't like Swain. But again, they have to have something in their back pocket, Swain, Vladimir, and LeBlanc, you know, something in their back pocket to allow them to stop him if he were to turn rogue, you know, something like that. So even though, you know, I think he's probably just going to keep working for Swain in the future against his will. But like, even with this current situation he's in, he may want to like turn rogue and try to fight them in the future and try to take over, or try to kill Swain. So I don't know. Maybe they'll end up doing that somehow in the future. That'd be kind of interesting. I just think they have something in their back pocket to stop him. You know what, guys? You know what I didn't even... we're at the end of the video, so I don't even know if this will get answered. But, you know, the little red... you know, hole he has in his body here. I actually didn't even really question this. It was probably mentioned in the biography, but I can't really recall. It was probably described, but is this just what is caused to resurrect him and stuff? You guys let me know on that one. Hey guys, if you're still here at the end of the video, I'd appreciate if you left a like on the video. It does help the YouTube algorithm, helps the video get, and we do have a bunch of other League of Legends reactions you can check out on the channel, so consider subscribing. Okay guys, that's it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.